Hello, hello. So I cannot be the only person who spends a vast majority of my time on self-help, finding inner peace, cultivating happiness, joy, all that good stuff. And then the second I go out of my house in my car on the street, it all goes out the window. Beautiful souls, my name is Lisa, and today's Shame Stories, day 13, I think. And the topic for today is driving or traffic. And so this one is a lot to unpack too. And this one is so far my favorite of all the ones that we've done, because it's like in real time for me. I'm being shown where I still have shame to clear, and it's so interesting because it's actually like clearing in real time too. So I'm gonna get to that. But driving. Okay, so whenever I was a kid and I was learning how to drive, my dad was a great teacher for driving. He taught me like all the things. But one of the things that he said to me that really stuck with me all these years is that anytime you get behind the wheel, you're essentially behind a weapon. Like, you can kill somebody if you're not careful, if you're careless, like if you're going too fast or too slow or not paying attention or drinking, like, so it's very important to, have respect for that. Much like, going into the ocean, like, it can kill you. Treat it with respect, right? And so that has stuck with me. And I don't think that that really created any shame, but it did give it the seriousness that I do believe it deserves. Then, I don't know, I was 16 and 17 when I got into my two accidents that I've been into. So it didn't take long for me to, I don't know, get trauma, driving trauma. One of them was because I turned and I shouldn't have. I should have waited. And another one was because I was driving too fast in the rain and I slid into somebody. And so those two experiences they have an impact on how I drive still today. Like, before I turn out into anything, anywhere, I take my time. If I'm hesitating, I'm waiting. And sometimes that makes people upset. They tell me whenever they honk their horns at me, or I can just feel it. If they're in my car, I can feel that vibe of like, why is she so careful, And that really is wise, because I've experienced, the consequences of not being careful. So same thing with rain. I still get pretty triggered with rain. I drive slower, and, we live and learn, right? So I also think about, I don't know, 5-10 years ago, my son's in travel ball, and like all the places having to drive for that, there was a time not too long ago where my hands would get so sweaty anytime I drove, and I was like literally like shaking. It was just, I don't know, I was just like scared to be on the road with people. There's also, women are bad drivers, so that's somewhere in the mix here. And for me, recently, I had been making videos about slowing down. I started those about 2 weeks ago. And the day that I made the first video, so I leave my house during the week at least 4 times, sometimes 5, 6, 7, because I have to, take kid to school, back, kid to school, back, kid to school, kid to the gym, another kid back, go back to the gym. So it's like a lot of like, and it's all like a 2-mile stretch of road. But as soon as I started making these slow down videos, at least 1, sometimes 2 or 3, each outing, which is like 4 or 5 a day. So at least 4, sometimes 8 or 12 times a day, people are getting in front of me, or I am getting behind people who are going like 10, 15 miles under the speed limit. And like, I'm not late for anything. I don't have to like be somewhere. Like, I have enough time, right? So like, what I was noticing inside of me was like why can't they drive the speed limit, you know? I get the same feeling when people go flying around me. So it's like, they're going too fast or too, like, I have this expectation that everybody's going to drive the exact way that I would like. And this is where that first line comes in. Like, do you experience this whenever you're behind the wheel? Like this, it's like rage. You don't even know these people, and yet you're like, oh, they must have a vendetta for me. Or like, I don't know. For me, it's a lot of taking things personally. Yeah. So since I started making the slow down videos every single day that I'm out on the roads, it's like the universe is like, here's an area in your life where you can still work on slowing down and being okay with it. And so over the weekend, I was driving somebody to his house, and coming back from that, I got behind 2 different cars going 30 in a 45. Like, I wish I had the video of all of these experiences. I would make a reel out of it, totally. But I was just beyond livid. I was like, I'm like so done with this lesson. Like, I really need to figure out what is going on here so that, like, I can be okay in a world where people drive slow or too fast. So I actually went home, and I have the video of me doing this. So I'm going to be posting that a little bit later, so you can see in real time what I actually do when I'm diving in to these things. And so then this morning and yesterday, it's happening still, but it's like that rage is no longer there. And it just feels like I just giggled. I'm like, I did it. But anyway, there's a lot of shame that comes in with driving. And for me, it's like a feeling of being in the way, or like if I mess up, it's like I'm a bad driver. There's something wrong with me because I don't know how to drive, even though I've been driving for 30 years or whatever, 25 years. There's shame in like having the anxiety of driving, because it's like everybody else does it and has no problem. What is wrong with me there? And then there's just, I don't know, just so much anxiety comes up. Not really now, but I've been working on this for a while. So I've cleared a lot of it. And really what was remaining was like the really extra audacious people and then the really, really slow people. Now, with all of that said, I'm not condoning being like a speed racer or like driving super slow just to take up space unapologetically, right? But because those things are dangerous, like putting other people in danger isn't cool. Like, just because you have a need for speed, you want a thrill, or you need to get somewhere. But as I'm like diving into this, it's just like, it's so much to unpack. Like, why do I get mad when people are going slow in front of me even if I have nowhere to go, even if I have nowhere to be. Like, why not just enjoy what's going on around me and know that I'm gonna get where I'm gonna get, you know? Like, I don't want to feel that rage. I don't want to feel that irritation, that tension. It tenses everything up. My kids are watching, you know? Do I want them to be like filled with anger just because they have to leave their house and drive, you know? Or do I want to model, like, yeah, people drive like a-holes sometimes and we can still be okay? With all that said, there's a lot more that I can talk about with driving. My DUI was like the most shameful experience I think I've been through. So I'm gonna make another video about that. But yeah, it's really cool to notice that I need to slow down and to have the universe like give me all of these opportunities to actually do it, you know, put my money where my mouth is. And then this morning, whenever I just like giggled when it happened, I was just like, yes, this is working. Like, oh my gosh, what a great feeling it is to not be full of rage when somebody's just chilling in front of me, you know? But that's all I have for today. See you guys later. Bye.